guys, hope you are having a great day out there today. Guys, today we are going to rebuild the Granite. That's right, the Granite. Now, this thing hasn't been out for a while, and if you guys caught the video, the last time I had this out was at a skate park, and was out there launching this thing, having fun, and I got a little out of control and hit the side of a skateboard ramp, and pretty much just sheared off everything on one side. I mean, you can see how hard the impact was. I mean, it cut the A-arms off, the back ones busted off. It's seen better days. It also put a huge chunk out of the chassis down here. And I was honestly debating on if I was going to even put this thing back together again, because it just seemed like there's a lot of bits and pieces, a lot of stuff broken. All the shocks were pretty much blown out on this thing, and it needed a lot of work. But I started looking around on eBay and came across a whole bunch of parts really cheap. Found an entire bag with all the A-arms, all of the hinge pins, all of the camber links, and everything all together. I think I got this bag for like $9. And I found a whole set of Granite shocks on there for, I think it was like $12, 12 or $15. And then the only other thing I really had to spend any money on was a set of drive shafts, because both drive shafts on the driver's side here are completely gone. So I got a set of those from my local hobby shop, and I think these were the most expensive part, $19 for a set of drive shafts. Now, I also had a brand new chassis that I've had floating around here for a couple years now. I'd never put it on. This was actually an accident. I thought I ordered the long wheelbase chassis when I was busting them all the time on the Creighton 4S, but it was actually a short wheelbase, and I never needed it because I usually never broke the chassis too much on the Granite, but I have broken one before. So anyway, since I got all the parts nice and cheap and everything, I decided I'm going to put the Granite back together again. So all the electronics in here are good and everything else, but it just needs a little bit of body work. So what I'm going to do is kind of do this a little bit in stages here, putting this together. I'm not going to bore you guys with a half-hour long video of constructing this thing again, but I am going to put it back together. But I also wanted to show you guys what I'm going to put on this thing and kind of test out. I got contacted. His name is Dan. He's with Labz, and he is putting together these kits, and there are shim kits, as you can see here. The chassis shim kit for the Arrma 3S, 4S models, for the Big Rock, Senton, Creighton, Granite, Vortex, and Outcast. And he is making these extreme duty bash plates, basically for the bottom of the chassis. And what this will do is basically bolt on right over top of the chassis here. He provided all of the screws in one of these bags here. Nicely laid out bag, all the hardware you need to mount these things up. And there's glue. There's a front upper shock tower brace that goes on here, I guess. I haven't got into all the packages yet, but what I'm going to be kind of messing with right now is the chassis brace. I'm curious. I'm going to test this thing out. He is constructing these things, with his own hands in his garage, and putting these together. He's going to be listing these on eBay, and I believe anybody that goes to the link off of here can get these kits for a bit cheaper. I'm testing these out just to see the fit and how I like them. I'm curious to see what the car is going to be like with the added weight, because I know that could be an issue with obviously putting a heavy aluminum plate on a 3S model. We might need to beef up the shocks, but we're going to kind of do this in stages with the Granite, with adding the parts to it, seeing how they work, seeing how I like them, and seeing how much it helps and what it exactly does with the car. So we're going to be working on this. I'm going to be mounting the plate up today and getting some of the braces together and going from there, guys. But yeah, should be interesting. He also sent me one for the long wheelbase cars, for the Typhon, Big Rock, Senton, Creighton, all that. It's a long wheelbase chassis version. This one has like the diamond plate finish to it, but it's got all the hardware and everything in there also. So we putting that probably on the Big Rock at some point also, but right now we are just working on the Granite and getting this thing back in running condition again. So I'll bring you guys back whenever we get this thing fully torn down and ready to start transferring everything over to the new chassis. All right, guys, well, I real quickly figured I'd bring you guys in and kind of getting along the process here. I got all the electronics torn out. I've started getting some stuff transferred over to the new chassis. I think I'm going to go ahead and get all the new A-arms and all this stuff bolted up to the new chassis next and get this part on there. But I also did want to say, on these the chassis brace kits from RC Mad Labs here, they do give you a very nice detailed instruction list here of how to do these and the different steps. This is step 2, step 3, and there's all different pieces in here. This is the stock mount braces. To basically, it's a reinforcement for the upper shock towers, and this is some rubber tubing, I guess, for the shocks to kind of help compress, the rebound on these things from bottoming out so much. So all different steps here. Like I said, they provide you all the hardware, step A and B and C, and the different screws and drill bits and stuff. I guess there's these 3 screws here. I believe you drill out the chassis, or put a couple holes in there somewhere. I haven't found out just that part yet, and not bolted in there to help keep this chassis brace in place and where it's supposed to be. I'm guessing it's going to be these 3 holes here. But as soon as I find out and get along, I'll show you guys what it looks like. But I'm going to go head back to wrenching, guys, and getting this thing torn apart. All right, guys. Well, I know I'm going a little bit out of order on what the instructions say, but I've never been a great instruction person. So at any rate, I'm getting the back end of the Granite all back together again. And I just got fitted up the rear tower brace that he sends along with the chassis brace and everything here. And I just got it all mounted up. There's one for the front also. And he sends you a little bottle of the E6000 glue and a piece of sandpaper to rough up the plastic. But as you can see, I got it fitted up on here. It also includes the little bit longer screws and everything you needed to mount these up. There is one screw added. It's this one right here. I drilled a little 9/32 hole and wound the screw in there, and it definitely helps because it squeezed the glue out the E6000 out real nicely around the edges. But hopefully it should help, because this is always a weak spot on these cars, breaking the shock tower. So if this helps stiffen it up and keeps those things from breaking, it's definitely not a bad thing, guys. But we got the new A-arms, the new hinge pins, new shocks, and everything all mounted up on the Granite here. Guys, this thing's coming back to life again, and she's going to be bigger and stronger than ever, I think. But, I'm going to go ahead and get working on the front next, and I'll bring you guys along, bring you guys back whenever I get the front end together or something. All right, guys. Well, we have a whole Granite again. I got everything all together, all the suspension on it. All the tires. I put the tires from the Big Rock on the Granite since this will be running on 3S. These tires don't balloon as bad. I took these off the Big Rock because running the Big Rock on 4S, they were ballooning like crazy, and I knew I was going to blow them. So good fit on here. But we got the front shock tower brace on there. It's got its E6000 glue and then the 3 screw points on there. So got the front shock brace on there. We got the rear one on, and all that's left now is to go ahead and get the actual chassis brace fitted up here. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that and see how this is going to work out. But basically, this is what it's going to kind of look like, guys. It's got all the mounting hardware. Like I said, he sends along with the kit longer screws, because as you can see, these are the stock screws, and these are the ones that he sends along with them to help take up the distance for the thickness of the plate. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing fitted up on here and see how she works, guys. I'll bring you guys back when we got her mounted up. All right, guys. Well, the Granite is all back together again, and she's ready for a rip, guys. Got everything all mounted up on here and everything ready to roll, I think. Got all the shock tower braces on here, and we got the bottom chassis support brace all mounted up. Everything bolted up real nicely. The only part that is a little bit finicky is these bolts down in here. There's one here, and there's one down here underneath the dry shaft. Those two are a little bit more difficult to get in, to be honest with you guys. I let Dan know about these to maybe move the placement of these so that they're a little bit easier to get in. But everything else bolted up, real easy, had no problems. With the screw kit he gives you, there are 4 longer screws for the 2 in the back, and then there are the shorter ones for the front and the rear. Everything else, bolted up really nicely, guys. Had no issues with getting any of it bolted up. Everything matched up nicely, and we're going to see how she holds up. you know, we'll take this thing maybe down to the skate park and give it a good beating and see how the chassis brace holds up on this thing. But I think that's going to do it. We got the chassis brace up and got that part on there. There is this chassis shim kit with this I did not do just yet. This video is getting a little too long, but I might do this on another video. But guys, if you guys are looking, this is considered, by the way, the Extreme Bash version. There is, I guess, a chassis brace he's going to have that is thinner and lighter. This one is thicker and heavier just to put up with those nice skate park bashes and the heavy beatings. But we're going to see how she works out over some time here, guys, and I'll continue to let you guys know how it's working out. But that's going to do it for the video today, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. So until next time, y'all, be safe, be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.